Do I have to pay an inheritance tax when I inherit the house from my mother? So this is a very common question. A lot of times people who inherit assets from their loved ones at death are worried about paying taxes, specifically inheritance taxes. So in short, in California, we don't have an inheritance tax per se. That we got rid of that in the 80s. So for California state tax purposes, there is no inheritance tax. For the federal government, there is an estate tax, but only for those individuals that have an estate valued at over about 14 million for 2025. So as of 2025, the inheritance exemption amount is 13.99 million, which means that if you have less than this 14 million threshold amount, there is no taxes for inheritance purposes that are going to be due at the time of your death. And so if you have more than that threshold amount, then you should definitely do some tax planning. Feel free to contact our office. We'd be happy to help kind of analyze your estate and let you know if there are some tax planning strategies that might be available for you. But in short, inheritance tax for the federal level is 13.99 for deaths that happen in 2025. Now, I will say that at the end of this year, that tax amount, the tax threshold amount, exemption amount, is going to expire, which means that we are going to be looking to Congress to give us instructions on what happens. If that law is going to expire, they're going to actually either enact a new law, keep the same one for the following years. So this year is actually a very interesting year with Trump in office. We're going to try to see what happens, how it all shakes out. We were waiting for the presidential results to see what the potential changes might be. So now that we have a Republican president and predominantly Republican Congress, we're guessing that there might be a maintenance of the current exemption amount. The current law we have at that high threshold amount is actually one of Trump's law changes from his previous term. So the guess is that it's probably going to be around the same, and it won't be lowered, hopefully. For people living in metropolitan areas, it does make an impact. But the threshold amount in 2025 is 13.990. So if you have less than that, there won't be any estate taxes due when you die. So your kids or your beneficiaries won't have to pay estate taxes to the federal government. If you live in California, obviously there's no state tax here in California, but that also might change with the pending different legislations that are currently in the works, and we'll let you know if it does. So if you feel like you need to consult with an attorney to do some tax planning or to put a trust together, feel free to contact our office. We'd be more than happy to help with a free consultation.